This is a video about a set of comments left on a different channel. Kind of a weird thing over the entire day. A little background. March 2018 is the week the world nearly went to nuclear war. This is the period of time where Trump fearmongered serious consideration of an American nuclear strike on North Korea, at least talked about it. He claimed it wasn't saber-rattling. As of April 2018, the list of DEFCON occurrences that are DEFCON 2 and 3 start in the 1960s and end in 1995, effectively, for the majority of them. The United States DEFCON occurrences at level 2 are the Cuban Missile Crisis, Persian Gulf War, and Strategic Air Command was the most referenced thing. Level 3 are Yom Kippur War, Operation Paul Bunyan, and September 11th attacks. So if we're talking about level 2, which is just short of actually going to war, we don't see this within recent memory. Obama was in New Zealand for meetings in Gulf, but no public talks during March 21st, 2018. But NewsHub, a website, said extensive media ban for Barrack Obama's New Zealand visit. It also repeated Obama went to New Zealand to escape an apocalypse, nuclear or otherwise, but that was only based on the assertions of Alex Jones. So they were literally just repeating something from someone who, at best, is almost always wrong, and at worst, is just fucking lying. March 14th, 2018, the United Kingdom's Parliament meeting started at 11:33 a.m. and ended at about 7:30 p.m. Prime Minister Theresa May stood from 12, almost exactly 12 noon. She was actually almost a minute late for being exactly noon, till 14:25 hours, or 2:25 in the afternoon, 2:26 almost. Russia Today, a YouTube channel for it, had a vid that shows an error at 1:44 p.m. approximately. Someone asked me to look into it, and what I did was link to parliamentlive.tv event index, a string of numbers, and it has in and out. Now I've adjusted them below to 1300 hours and 40 minutes, so that'll be 140, so that you can line up with it. And it goes on for the next 2 hours for the entire period of time that was represented by the Russia Today video. The Russia Today video could contain edits and that sort of thing because RT is a propaganda source as well as a news source for the Russian Federation. You can say that about all sorts of news sources, but it is a propaganda source. And they make mistakes too. I mean, they can just make an honest mistake. You can also look up not DEFCON, but Force Protection Condition, REDCON, Information Operations Conditions, OPCON or INFOCON, WatchCon, the Homeland Security Advisory System that used to use color codes, the 2017-2018 North Korea crisis, which happened during Donald Trump's watch, has nothing to do with Obama, and the 2018 Hawaii false missile alert that has nothing to do with anybody other than him having equipment that didn't work correctly, list of nuclear close calls, and you can also look at other sources of information like some news sources I've got below. But the New York Times article, March 3rd, World, Asia, North Korea nuclear talks, and Business Insider, when nuclear war almost happened, as of April 2018, which means it's after this period of time. There isn't any listing for any DEFCON listings. Now, what brought this on? Now, this is stuff that was asked about on another channel. The fact is that I'm just going to put this on a channel that doesn't have anything on it because it's not relevant who posted this or why, really, but this is information you can look up and it doesn't take very long. And even people who looked up these news sources commented below and said, this is crap, this is easily checked, why was this posted? I even checked Reddit a couple of places. And the reason I didn't look at the Parliament video, but I guess I should, I'll post below if I can find the blank area, is it's YouTube and it's going to have blanks in it anyway. It could have just been a screw up. It also sort of locked up the user interface, so I'm assuming it's just a screw up on YouTube. But finding the supposedly original source on the actual website that you go to is just the Parliament website, parliament.co.uk or parliament.uk. The assertions I got was that Obama was in New Zealand on March 19th, 2018, or thereabouts, sometime during March. That was the week the world nearly went to war. DEFCON 2, Air Force One, take off in 15 minutes. Theresa May was asked a question about Russia nukes and said, and I quote, "No one is talking about nuclear weapons." Now, the point to this is that that's supposed to have been erased, and that's suspicious. If she was talking about what she was talking about that day was the Russian government being involved, very likely, in a poisoning attempt or actually killing somebody in the United Kingdom, which it's a foregone conclusion that they did that. But someone brought up, nuclear Russian nukes. This is very vague. But a person is able to dead-ass quote her as saying, "No one is talking about nuclear weapons." Okay, she said that. And that's deleted because it's suspicious. On a YouTube video on RT. I should get paid money for this kind of research. It's so high quality. But anyway, but it was blacked out from, and then I checked the timing on the video, it was actually from the 1 hour and 44 minute and 15 second mark to exactly the 1 hour and 45 minute and 34 second mark, which works out to be about, about 1:44 in the afternoon, because the video is almost exactly starting at noon. So we can say 1:40 as a good timing. So I have that link down below, and it's the parliamentlive.tv, and it starts at 13:40 hours. I'm assuming that's correct. They're basing it on the actual time of day, and I just had it go from 13:40, which should be before this, to 2 p.m. I mean, I figure that should be good, right? So anyway, but when she said that, or if she said that, the person's claiming it was blacked out from that period of time, and it's on a RT video, which is on YouTube. Either of those things can cause a problem. So they must have edited it out because I know it happened. And then we get into the Mandela effect problem, where people will say, "I remember something very distinctly," but there's literally no proof of it. I remember all sorts of things when I was younger. I remember seeing all sorts of TV shows and stuff when I was younger, I thought. But I, for the life of me, I can't find out what they are. There's hundreds of things like that. There's an entire genre of missing music based on that. There's an entire genre of video games that have been canceled. You can actually look up that they existed, but they're no longer available, and because they were electronic download and copy protected, most people just deleted them and forgot about them. But you remember them later and like, where can I get that? That's an entire genre of really sad reality, that stuff we entertained ourselves with on computers are gone. Some people, I'm not kidding, some of you might remember Bonsai Buddy. It was a little program that was originally written for kids to have a book read to them. It was a cute little monkey or whatever character. And then someone turned it into a hunk of malware, and it became a full-on virus. And it ruined it. But the fact is that there was at one time an actual shareware program of a cute little purple monkey, 3D rendered, that would sit there and read any book to you. It didn't require, I mean, you had to convert it over to a particular file format, but you could read any book to a kid. And it did a good job. It was a book reader. It was cute. It had a silly little voice, and it kept kids entertained. And then someone turned it into a fucking evil abomination. And the video game world is filled with companies that just flat erased programs. I mean, it's kind of sad. It's kind of heartbreaking that sometimes years of work is just snuffed out because somebody says, "Oh, we're not making any money off of it, erase it." When it actively has to be done in such a way that it erases it from everywhere, you expend a bunch of money getting rid of something and instead of just letting it sit there and maybe make you some money. If they had erased it from everywhere else but their sales area, that would make sense. But the fact is, if you're not making money off it anymore, it's no skin off your nose to just let people use it. You just post that we're not supporting it anymore. You give out a hack key, you should have one for every program, to where people can keep using it. But as soon as you use that hack key, it just says this is no longer supported. That's something I've built into programs I've written. I've written programs that make it to where if you use them, you have to agree to use them within my restrictions. You're not allowed to use them outside of a certain range of stuff. Special purpose software. But if I made it to where people weren't going to get it anymore or use it anymore, especially if it's a cleanup utility, I wrote a routine called Janitor that I'm using now on my computer. I used it 10 minutes ago. And it's just a collection of other people's programs for cleanup. But at one time, it was literally a batch routine, and a very intelligent one I wrote, to clean a system. And it was part of the contributions that eventually became Crap Cleaner or C Cleaner. A lot of you use that program. I'm one of thousands of people that contributed ideas to that. It's not my baby. But what if the company decided my program, a stupid batch file written as a text file, was competition? Well, they ordered the erasure of it all over the internet. Well, no. That's excessive. It takes more effort. You're literally throwing money down a rat hole. If Crap Cleaner ever decides they don't want to have the program available anymore, they should release it open source and get rid of it and say, this is not manufacturer supported, we're not running it anymore. And what you do, if you're smart, is you take your LLC and collapse it. Now, why am I bringing this up? There's an entire genre of files that proved I was involved in that little project. It's gone. I just tried to look up a bunch of websites and data files for my mods for the Hewlett-Packard calculator. I can't find them anymore. I even run a little website that nobody really cares about, where I keep my notes usually. Now I use my YouTube channel for it, and it's actually more stable for me to use that free website because YouTube is unstable. It doesn't save my stuff as easily. Hell, I might get more views from my website for all I know. But anyway, all of those projects I had in the past that I can't prove I was involved in, or projects I was interested in that I made notes about that I can't find anymore. Archive.org did not save some of these things. I can't prove these things happened. I know they happened, but I'm not going to claim that they edited the internet to make me look bad, or that I've got a mind like a steel trap. Everybody I've ever met who said that, they're a rusty one, and they're caught in their own trap. We all make mistakes, and we all mistake things back and forth. And the most stubborn people I've run into always say that. It's like, if anything in the world isn't the way I think it is, it must be somebody doing it to make me look bad, or somebody changed something without me knowing it, or something. If someone watched shit happen and can go look it up, where Donald Trump spent weeks saber rattling, but being way too serious about it, being a warmonger, just like everybody accused Hillary Clinton of. Talking about bombing North Korea. Dead ass said it. Or he didn't. I'm just imagining things. It sounded like he was saying it, but I can't prove it. Well, I could. I could just look up where he typed it on Twitter. I could just go dig it up. But if nobody archives it, he can delete it. He can make it to where he never said anything. He can just delete everything on his... If he was smart, he would delete everything off his Twitter page from that date backwards, erasing everything. Because he's done it. It's not against the rules. He's just not allowed to block people. But he can erase things. I've said things in videos that I regretted, and I had to put it at the top. I was wrong at this point to this point. And some cases, YouTube let me blank a part of the video, mostly the audio, because I said something that was going to just, is going to misdirect people. So I have to get rid of it. It's wrong. But someone's saying that a specific year and a specific date had a specific occurrence because an ex-president visited someplace to play golf, but that got transposed into a media blackout and he's hiding from nukes because Alex Jones said it. If you listen to fake news stories, fake news isn't some expression Donald Trump created. This was it. He is literally a source of fake news. He keeps repeating things that are simply not true. He spent years trying to tell people that Barrack Obama isn't an American citizen because he doesn't like him. The DEFCON level occurrences that we have that are level 2 that you can go look up, Persian Gulf War and Cuban Missile Crisis, are listed on the Wikipedia article and is duplicated in dozens of places, including conservative websites. Level 3, Yom Kippur War, Operation Paul Bunyan, and the September 11th attacks are agreed upon as being unquestionably level 3s. Level 2 didn't happen in 2018. There are other things that are, WatchCon or DEFCONs or whatever, but they don't seem to show up either. Maybe I'm wrong. Everybody can correct me. I'm accepting of any fact that you present to me. But when I tell someone dead ass you can watch the video on the UK site and it isn't bleeped out, they must have edited it. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Thanks for sitting and listening with me. Maybe I owe all of you money like you're a shrink or something.